Hi, I'm Alex. I come from Malaysia. I came to SMBC 2.5 years ago. Uh, Before that, I was an engineer, but I think God was preparing me for ministry in future. And so one of the few things I had to think about was training. And SMBC was on the radar because there's a graduate who works in Malaysia. I got to meet him and work with him a little bit. Also, David Cook, the former principal, was in Malaysia quite often as well, and got to hear him preach. So yeah, SMBC was always on the radar when I was considering training for ministry. The thing that pushed me here, or one of the few things that was attractive about SMBC and made me decide to come here, was a few things. One was just comparing the subjects that we have here at SMBC and compared to those back in Malaysia. We seem to cover more Bible ground, so we definitely have more biblical studies, more subjects in that area, and just taking us through more of the text. I found that really important. I thought that would be important, and it's proven to be so, and it's one of the great benefits of being here. The other thing that was really attractive about SMBC was its focus on training us to preach well, to preach to an audience, how to relate to them. That I found was something that I needed to learn as well. So that's the second thing. I think the third thing was biblical theology. So the way the Old and the New Testament fits together as God's big story in saving His people and redeeming us. So those were the few reasons why I chose to come to SMBC. My time so far has been really good, 2.5 years. It doesn't feel long, it doesn't feel short, it feels like 2.5 years. Mainly because I think there are really, really good things to learn, really good things that have happened here, but also really challenging things as well. So one of the good things that I've learned so far is, or that I've benefited so far is just the richness of God's word and the richness in the way He communicates and reveals Himself to us and the gospel. And so that's been one of the big highlights. The other highlight as well was something that I didn't expect. So coming here, I'm living on campus and just living in community with other people, with other Christians. So that's been a really great blessing as well, because then you get to spend time with people at meals, praying together, also going on mission together, sitting under God's word together. And I think you form, in community, you form friendships along the way. And I think those are the ones that will continue on for a lifetime, if not eternity, which is true. So those are one of the few things that I found really, really beneficial. One of the great things to be studying here. I think there are a number of challenging things as well, challenging in a good way. I think the more I study, the more I learn more about God's word. I realize that I actually now know less because there's so much more to learn. One way to look at it is once I realize that actually I know less than before, one way to look at it is actually to recognize that I'm not going to learn everything in my 3 years at college here or whatever time I have here. I think I've learned that it's the skills that college has given me, the tools to understand God's word in order for a lifetime of learning. And that lifetime of learning hopefully will translate into a lifetime of preaching, teaching, and living out God's word. So that's one of the challenges. I think the other challenge was also I've been challenged to think more about what it means to be godly and holy, and to live lives that reflect the gospel, reflect the attractiveness of Christ, and how to live in honor of God in that sense. Also, I've been challenged just to love the lost. So I come from Malaysia, and there are many different races there, many different religions. I've always compartmentalized them into, these are one people group, and this is one religion, this is the other, but I've never seen them as the lost. And so coming here, just chatting to one of the lecturers, I think he challenged me to think of not how to see people as just people groups, and those who are of from different religions, whether it's Muslims or Buddhists, but to see them as the lost and to have a love for them. I think those are one of the things that will be really helpful when I get back and when I look at people to see, yes, they are diverse, they believe in different things, but nevertheless they are the lost, and they need the gospel and the offer of salvation that Christ gives. So those are the few challenging things that's been challenging, yes, but beneficial to me personally coming from Malaysia. So I finished at the end of this year. What will I do next? I don't know for sure, but what's definite is to be going back to Malaysia. That's where my heart is, my love for the people. I know the people there, and there are great needs in Malaysia. I think medium, long-term future, maybe think seriously about pastoral ministry, pastoring a church. But I think in the meantime, in the immediate term, I probably need to gain some experience first working at a church. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'll do just yet, but hopefully be learning or practicing to preach more, continuing to do one-to-one discipleships, reading the Bible with those who want to know more about Jesus, and also those who want to continue to grow in maturity and faith in Him. So those are some of the few things that I have in mind when I get back. But yeah, overall college has been a real big benefit, a real blessing to I think for me personally, that's one. And I think a blessing for my church as well back in Malaysia. Hopefully some of that training will come through and it will be used by God to build up God's church in Malaysia. So SMBC has really been vital in that. My experience has been vital in that, and they've helped me to do that really well. And I'm very, very thankful for my time here.